once again, audience, for Two Dudes With Do. Welcome to Two Dudes With Do. I'm Josh.
And I'm Shae.
Again, we did this last year. We made Super Bowl predictions. Some of us did better than others. I'm not going to say who. I mean, one of us watches football.
One of us doesn't.
That helps a lot. Yeah, so we would be completely remiss if we didn't take the whole 20 minutes to explain our points before we made the choice of who's going to win the Super Bowl. But before we can even get to the Super Bowl, there's a huge controversy that has to be discussed. And we would be shamed in the NFL and the football community if we did not at least touch on these moments.
I think a guy that doesn't watch football is already shamed by the NFL community.
Actually, you're not. You're considered a noob. You're like the guy that's going to be playing when they open up free blackout. Yeah. We all are going to enjoy picking on them.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're just happy they're there. Free kills. Oh, I should have planned the tournament for that weekend.
Yeah.
We could have got some real kill going on.
It's got to be this week.
Yeah, well, timing is of the effins. Timing is of the effins. That's a new saying for Two Dudes With Do.
Effins.
It's like essence, but it's effing essence, you know?
Yeah.
Really.
Evanescence?
Yeah, effins. So anyways, yeah, no, well, yeah. Dang it. That just, anyways, oh well. So, football. Can we say more about football? Football.
Do you know there's a foot in ball?
Yeah. You know what? You don't use your feet as much as you'd think in football.
I mean, you're always running.
Yeah, it's spelled F-O-O-T-B-A-L-L. You know, but so if you're like, oh, they're talking about football. No. American football.
American.
Sorry, it's the one where they actually carry it with their hands more often than not. Whereas with your guys' football, it's never hands except for the goalie.
It's literally the exact opposite.
You guys should have went handball, just to make us mad. Like, oh, you want football? We'll take handball.
It's quite amazing how opposite it is. And if you really think about soccer and football, American football. Because literally, the only time you're able to use your feet in football is when you're kicking it in.
Field goal, kickoff, punt.
Yeah. The only time you use your hands in soccer is if you're stopping someone from making it in.
Blocking a goal. Goalie picking the ball up to kick it, throwing the ball in from inbounds.
Yeah.
From out of bounds.
That's really it. It's quite opposite.
Stopping the ball once it goes out of bounds so you don't have to go race it because the clock continually moves, which is another reason why a lot of people like football instead of football. Clock's not stopping very much. Of course, I always enjoy when the guys just fall down out of nowhere. What happened to that guy? Oh, some guy gave him a blow on his ear. He has an internal ear infection now. Free kick.
Yep.
Rugby. That's where it's at. Anyways, that's what we're talking about today.
That's the man's sport.
Yeah, get rid of that because I'm going to play with it the whole time.
Yeah, you will.
No, but there's been two situations that have happened in American football. First off, Super Bowl Sunday is this Sunday.
Ooh.
If you're watching this video and it's after that Sunday, well,
I'm just saying.
We've done this. This is the 28th of January.
I'm just saying, if Sweet Victory is not played at the halftime.
It's been announced.
It's been announced. Mm-hmm. If there's not a SpongeBob cameo in there somewhere.
It's Squidward coming out. I don't know 100% sure because that's just the idea. That's what they say is going to happen.
This might be the one I have to watch.
Mm-hmm. You can come to my house. We're going to watch it. I'm getting my ring on that day.
Ooh. Oh, did you win the...
I won my family league.
Nice.
And Marcus won your guys' league, which you were in. Shae tried this year.
Tried and got bored with it so fast. 3 weeks, I was out.
I will say, even though he was out, he was still doing things pretty well. He beat a couple guys, even though he wasn't there.
You know what my score was after 4 weeks? I was like, I'm done.
You lost to me twice in the playoffs.
Yeah. I was in the playoffs?
Yeah, we were in the consolation.
Okay.
Consolation playoffs. We were playing for 5th and 6th place.
Okay.
Yeah, you were in 6th, I was in 5th, and I beat you both times. So,
was I
4 weeks in a row I beat you.
Was I dead last?
Yeah, you were dead last.
Okay, no surprise.
It's okay.
You know,
hey, I'll give you the 4 weeks you were trying. You did pretty good.
I did win 2 matches in those 4 weeks.
You did.
That's a 50% win rate.
Yeah, that's good for anybody.
But, I will never be trying to get ever again though, because I did not enjoy it.
That being said, I think you did a decent job. If you'd held on, I think you would have had much more. Not that you'd have had much more fun. You'd had a better looking season.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways,
not me.
But yeah, Super Bowl's coming up this Sunday. A lot of people over the world are excited. A lot of people are bummed, especially New Orleans fans.
I don't believe about that one.
It brings us to the main thing that we wanted to speak about before we go any further. It's that the Saints should be in the football. It should be in the Super Bowl.
They really should be.
I showed Shae because he didn't watch the game, obviously.
I don't. If there's anything that starts with football, I just flip
There's
the page.
other things that's more pressing.
The page.
Yeah. So I was like, I want your honest reaction. You really don't know much about football.
Nope.
Like, you don't even know what the words pass interference meant at the time. But so I show him the video. I go, just tell me your honest thoughts when you're watching this. First thing, well, that ref's in the way. Wait a minute. Nope, he's out of the way. Okay. All right, looks like it's going to pass. Okay, that's like interfering with the play, isn't it? Like, that's what he said. When the Rams player hit the Saints guy, he's like, that's interfering the pass, right? I think it's called pass interference, yes. Yeah, you're correct. And he's like, wait a minute, they didn't call that? No, they didn't. And if you were wondering, maybe there just wasn't a ref there. No, it was right there.
I was like, literally, he's in the corner of the screen.
It's like
you could just barely see his hat.
Like right there. And he's like 4 yards away from the play.
And you can see, this is how he is. Just
yeah, and whether you're a Rams fan or you're not, whether you're a Saints fan or not, whether you're just a fan of football or in general or not, everyone in the world who saw that play goes, that was pass interference.
I got mad watching the play.
Yeah.
And I don't watch football.
And then I go, now I need to explain just how crucial this moment was. It's the fourth quarter. It's 1 minute and 50 seconds left.
45, actually.
That was after the play was done.
Oh,
it took 5 seconds to do that play. It's 1 minute 50 starting off. And then they're in 3rd and 10. Now, you shouldn't be in this situation anyways. But they're there. And it comes down to this pass interference not being called. They end up having to kick a ball at 1 minute 45 field goal. They make it. And then they got 1 minute and 42 seconds to come down and score a field goal, which that's plenty for any NFL team just to go kick a field goal, which they did.
Yeah.
And then they ended up winning in overtime. So kudos to them. They did win in overtime. They intercepted a ball from Drew Brees, and then they won. It's not a question of did they beat them at the end. They did. But what it is if that gets called, this game doesn't go the way it does.
Yeah.
I mean, from where they're at, that's a 6-yard line pass interference call. That's on top of the fact that he had helmet, which is not even being discussed as much. But that's going on. And then on top of all that, you get a fresh set of downs with one timeout for the Rams. There's no way they compete in this situation. That's saying they don't end up running a 6-yard run in with Kamara or Ingram, which is very possible. So, yeah, a lot of things change if they make that call. That being said, New Orleans should have been in. That should have been a call. Saints should have ended up winning that game, hands down, no problem. Then we go over to Chiefs. I didn't discuss this one with you because I didn't even watch this game. But I've just been looking at what happened. I've looked at the highlights. And there's a moment in time when the Chiefs are driving down the field to beat the Patriots that all they have to do is kick a field goal to win. And instead, one of their linemen gets a holding call. They don't know exactly if it is a holding call or not. If it should even been called. It was a little iffy at best. Again, what we've always said, my family has always said, you don't get yourself in these situations, then you don't have to worry about the call going one way or the other. If you're outright beating the Chiefs, they get that holding call, or the Chiefs outright beating the Patriots, you get that holding call, you're not caring at that point. But because it's a tight game, that call dictates the way you win or lose. And in this situation, it dictated them going to overtime. Drew Brees marches down the field and scores a touchdown and wins the game. It is what it is. A lot of people, because of the way it worked out, are screaming about changing the overtime rules. I think the overtime rules work great. Overtime works like this. You go to the coin toss. Whoever gets it gets to choose receive or kick. If you receive the ball, you march down and kick a field goal. The other team gets a chance to come back and score another field goal. It used to be whoever scored first won. So basically winning the coin toss meant you were going to probably win.
Yeah.
Now they've changed to where if you get a field goal, you don't automatically win. If you get a touchdown, you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so now people are like, no, it shouldn't be that way, which I was saying back when it was whoever scores the first goal wins. I was saying that it ought to go college rules. College rules, you get on the 25-yard line or the 30-yard line, and you get a series to try and score. If you score, great. Then the other team gets the same exact chance. If they score a touchdown, you keep going until someone wins. If someone kicks a field goal and the other team scores a touchdown, it's over.
Yeah.
Which is how it should be. That's the best way to play out in overtime. But NFL plays differently.
It's the big boys.
Yeah. Saying they don't make that holding call, Chiefs may or may not come down, kick the field goal correctly, and win. I don't know. We don't know anything. Chiefs probably should have been in the Super Bowl. It should probably be the Chiefs versus the Saints, not Patriots versus Rams. That's just how it is. Second big thing that everyone's been talking about is the idea of is Tom Brady the greatest player of all time? Do you even know who Tom Brady is?
I do know who Tom Brady is.
I'll just make sure.
No, I do.
Who's Tom Brady?
I know he's a quarterback.
He is a quarterback.
I'm trying to think what team.
Patriots.
It's Patriots?
Patriots quarterback.
Okay.
He has been to the Super Bowl 9 times.
Yeah.
9 times. Okay? And he's 41 now. 9 times at the age of 41, this is his 9th time. People are saying he's the greatest of all time because of, number one, he's been there that many times. But also, number 2, he has won 5 of his 9 appearances so far.
Not bad.
This is his, or 5 of his 8 appearances, and this is number 9. I can't remember exactly how it worked out. But he's going for number 6. He's already got a fistful of rings. If he gets one more, he gets a pinky ring on the other side just to stab up.
Oh, that's the pimp hand right there.
Yeah, it's like, I've got this whole hand to beat you down with, but I'm going to give you the pinky.
That's the pimp
Still good enough to hurt. So, that's the big discussion is he the greatest quarterback of all time? I would say no, hesitantly. He is one of the greatest postseason quarterbacks of all time. Beyond far. Yeah. He's got, I think, the most rings, if not going to have the most rings if he wins. You know, so definitely if he wins this week, or this Sunday, he's going to be the most winning quarterback of all time.
If he gets the 6th, he could put them like 3
double.
Just double-handed, 3 here, 3 here.
Or he could go all 5 here, and then one finger gets an extra one, like the middle finger.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, are you that good? Yep. And he just shows you the middle finger. Like, yeah, I'm that good.
Just stacks them all on top.
I've got so many, I have to double stack. Oof. That would be impressive.
That would be a good thing to brag about.
Now, a lot of people say he lost a lot. I mean, he did hurt his knee pretty bad, He missed out on a few years of real greatness because of it. And honestly, he probably should already have 6 rings because of that. If he never hurts his knee, he's probably got 6 rings at the moment. Now, so, is he the greatest of all time? I say he's one of the greatest of all time. It's hard to be the greatest of all time.
There is never the greatest.
Yeah, it's the same discussion about NBA. Is Michael Jordan the greatest of all time? Is LeBron? It's just a different era, different games. You stick Tom Brady in the 80s, he probably doesn't play the same as he does now. You stick Joe Montana from the 80s and put him in the 2000s, he probably doesn't play the same. It's just a different era. It's a different type of game altogether. A lot of people are like, well, Tom Brady's got Deflategate. He's been suspended for 4 games. Joe Montana never had that situation. Well, Joe Montana's line cut a lot of people. He hurt a lot of people. There was always, there was a lot of, penalties and things. And, they were suspended and they were fined, So there's, both sides have valid points. The thing is, to say one player is the greatest of all time, it's hard to say.
Because there's going to be some guy, this guy's better.
Yeah, I mean, you look at who's won the most Super Bowls as far as teams go, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And then I think 49ers and Dallas and, so on and so forth.
And look at the 49ers
Patriots
now.
Got 6. To be the greatest team of all time, or the greatest player of all time, we'll never know because you can't keep playing. Age is the greatest player of all time. Age is the GOAT.
Yeah.
Okay, because he always wins. One way or another, age will win. Yeah. That's the sad thing about life. So, when we start talking about these discussions, no. Okay? Let's not even discuss it. Just to discuss who's the greatest player of all time.
Sounds good for me.
How do you go quarterback versus running back? How do you go quarterback versus receiver? How do you go quarterback versus linebacker? How do you
obviously the one that scores the most points.
You can say greatest quarterback of all time. Okay, you got a better chance of having that argument. Yeah. But greatest player, period, you can't.
Nah.
I mean, there's just totally different facets. So, skipping past that. Now, we're going to discuss Rams and Patriots.
Okay.
You know a little bit about Patriots.
I do.
We discussed them last year.
Yeah.
They let you down.
They did.
Sadly.
They did.
A couple years ago, Patriots got lucky. That one of the best running backs in the league is on the 1-yard line, and the coach decides not to go with him. He tries to pass it instead, and they intercept the ball and win the game. I mean, it's just you never know what's going to happen in the Super Bowl. I mean, I think 4 years ago it was Denver in the Super Bowl. They were the clear favorites. Peyton Manning, one of the greatest players of all time, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Not the greatest, but one of.
Josh, drop it.
He comes out on his first drive. And they have a miscue between him and the center. He doesn't expect the hike to come right away. Flings it right over his head. Safety. To start the game, essentially.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, you don't recover from that in the Super Bowl.
No.
That's momentum. It's like, you start off with momentum kind of 50-50. Everyone's kind of hyped. Everyone's got it.
Everyone's happy.
And then that happens, and it's like...
Yeah, it's like...
It's over.
It's like you're like 97%.
Yeah, you're trying to fight back against that, and it just never happens. I mean, unless you come out the next time they kick off and just run it right down their throats on the kickoff return.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way to get some of that momentum back. So, both of these teams have high-powered offenses. Both of them have great receivers. Both of them have, I'll say both of them have good running backs, but one of them has great running backs. The other one has good running backs.
Who would that be exactly?
Rams have 2 of the greatest running backs in the NFL right now. They've got Todd Gurley and they've got C.J. Anderson.
Okay.
C.J. Anderson, well below rated on most people's accounts. he came from Denver and a couple other places, and he really was pretty quiet until he hit the Rams in the last 4 games of the season. He came in the last 2 games where they were resting Gurley, and he just blew up. And then he came in against the Cowboys in the playoffs, and
as you can see where Josh is going to
ran all over them like they were standing still, like they were playing high schoolers. But let's not talk about that game. That was embarrassing all around.
Let's not talk about we're talking about the Super Bowl here.
Yeah. So they've got great running backs. Todd Gurley is I think top 5 running backs of the whole season. So I mean, there's one running back core that's gonna outshine the other. Of course, when you start looking at quarterbacks, you got Tom Brady, which is what we just discussed, and then you got this guy named Jared Goff, and there's nothing wrong with Goff. He's just a younger quarterback. Yeah. He's a little different. He plays a little differently than most, but he gets the job done.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. When you look at the receiving core, you look at Cooks, Woods. I wish Kups was still there. I mean, kind of is. But they've got great receivers on Rams' side. In fact, really, Cooks used to play for Patriots and did amazing at Patriots. Now he's doing amazing in the Rams. So you got that going on. You got equal running. You got Edelman. You got I think Gronk. You got some good receivers on the other side as well. Gronk's a great passer, pass protection and run blocker. So I mean, you got good protection there. Literally, the last game, the Chiefs did not touch Brady. 0 touches. Didn't even get close to him, except for one time the guy swung over the shoulder of a guy and hit Brady on the shoulder, and they called it hitting the helmet. Threw a flag on that.
Okay.
Can I stop right here real quick? This whole thing about protecting quarterbacks is getting really dumb.
Yeah.
Really bad. Like, you can't touch him.
Yeah.
Obviously. 15-yard penalty. Sorry. Anyways, and that's all he did. And they said he hit his helmet, which he didn't. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yes.
They get paid millions of dollars, man. They can get hurt. It's fine. Ask Joe Montana. If he can put a sentence together, he'll say the same.
Josh is like, you can hit me as hard as I can if you give me 15 mil.
You say 4 years of 300-pound guys are going to hit you for $15 million, I'd be like, where do I go?
Sign me up, coach.
When do I need to be at the facility? I mean, do I need to learn anything, or are they just going to hit me all day? I mean, 8 hours? What? No. Only 3 hours during a game. Let me do some calculations here on my phone.
I'm getting paid like $2,000 an hour.
Basically, each time someone tackles me, I'm getting $1,000. Yeah, I'm cool with that, man.
Sign me up.
I mean, I get to wear pads, right? Well, yeah. I mean, there's some padding there, and they're not great, but you get a helmet.
Sign me and the rest of America
up. I'm only 5'6", but shoot, let's do it. Anyways,
see, that's why you just duck under them.
Yeah. So when you look at the offenses, they're both high powered. You look at the defenses. I said this to a Rams fan today. I said, if the Rams defense that showed up against the Cowboys shows up against the Patriots, the Rams win this. I said, if they don't, it's a much tighter game, and I don't know if they can edge out as far as scoring as many points as Brady can. Last year, Atlanta not last year. Was it last year? 2 years ago.
I think it was 2 years ago.
Atlanta versus Patriots. I mean, Atlanta has 28 points to 3. Going into it, basically 1 quarter left.
Yeah.
And they lose. I mean,
the biggest whooping of football history happened.
That's a full-on choke, if not a Heimlich needed for sure. It was embarrassing, and they haven't been the same since.
I remember I watched it happen, because I came in like, okay, because I started watching it with my grandpa, I'm like, oh, this game's in the bag, I don't need to watch this anymore, I'm going to go to my house.
Go away, way to go, Atlanta.
Yeah, and I got back in, and I just hear, like, I'm like, what's going on? Dude, it's a close game! I'm like, what?
It's like, wait a minute. I went to the bathroom for 5 minutes. How's this a close game? Let me do 3 scores, right?
Let me do the calculations here.
7 points max, right? Okay, 8.
How?
There's not enough time here. I mean, even if the other team got the ball... Oh, he scored 3 times in a row. Oh, okay.
Did they put a deaf child on the team?
And here's the thing. When the third quarter was almost getting over, they asked Tom Brady, what do you think? And Tom Brady said, oh, we got this. They're getting tired. Who says that? Down 25 points. Oh, they're getting tired. They're getting tired of scoring on us. We're about to beat them. Look at that. Look at how he's running down that field with that ball. He can't do that much longer. That's a crazy person if you've ever seen it.
We've been talking about a lot of crazy people here on this channel lately.
We have. So,
W.
Getting down to it, it's time to make the prediction. when you look at it, these teams stack well. When you look at it, they're both in Atlanta. Neither of them have really got an advantage as far as home field. About equal distance to travel.
I think it's about even 50-50.
If this was a colder climate and it wasn't a dome, I'd say we're giving it to Patriots because LA. I don't think we've seen snow in 20 years.
I can tell you for a fact I haven't seen snow here in like 20 years.
So, there's that. But that's not the case. This is a Superdome. It's 72 degrees at most. Oh. They're probably going to turn it down just a few degrees.
Oh, no, it's 72 degrees.
They've got AstroTurf, so we're not exactly worried about a wet field like we were in L.A. when Dallas came to play. Just saying.
Good times.
Anyways, that was what's his name? Jerry Jones came out and said the reason Cowboys lost was because the field was wet. That's how you know you've been truly beaten. So when you come out, the only reason we lost was because the field was wet.
That's called excuses.
That's gonna write. Okay, we'll write that. Sounds great. Let's do that.
Put it on the papers. Print them. Print them.
Yeah, I'm only the owner of the Cowboys. I wasn't exactly playing. I talked to guys in the. Anyways, so when you look at these teams, they're pretty much there's no home field advantage. There's no fielding advantages at all. No. It's just literally going to come down to the game. Obviously, we have one quarterback who's been there a lot.
Yeah.
Same with a coach who's been there quite a bit. Bill Belichick. I don't know if he's the greatest coach of all time, but he's definitely been doing good with Tom Brady at his side. Versus Sean McVay, who is the Rams coach, who was, I don't know, 10 when Tom Brady started playing, something like that. He's a really young guy.
Yeah, that's pretty young.
You've got very conventional methods as far as Bill Belichick, grind it out, study the playbook, study the way we're going to play, and execute well. And he has different looks for everything. Then you've got Sean McVay, who's got the exact same setup when he comes to the line, but he can do 15 different plays out of the exact same look. I mean, it's just very unconventional versus conventional. I don't know. Let's just go ahead and say who you think's going to win this game. Rams, Patriots. Experience, unconventionality.
I'm always a big fan of unconventionality.
You going Rams?
I will go Rams.
First time I'm going with you.
So, what do we do if we lose?
Well, I figured I'd tell you that afterwards. Because we've been planning it for a while, but we haven't done it yet.
Oh, no.
And, everyone loves to eat hot wings at Super Bowls.
Oh, no.
Hot wing challenge.
Well, if we lose...
If we lose, we got to spin twice.
Oh,
no! For every wrong thing.
See, the worst part, they don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah. You guys will see that in the video later. But... So that's predictions. We think that LOD, for most part, because TDWD, this channel believes that Rams is going to take it home.
Please.
Not because we want them to, but because we think the stats prove it.
I like unconventionality,
Yep. I like it. I think it going to beat the experience.
You got to give them that 1-2 surprise-a-roo.
Yep. It's going to beat the experience in this situation. You never know when the guy's coming around the corner. So... all this stuff's coming across, all this stuff being pulled up, all that stuff being pulled up. You know how to do. You know the channel. You know what's on that. 4 2 Dudes would do.
Hello, the food.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Shae.
Let's do this Super Bowl style. Which means...
How do you do?
How you do?
I don't know a lick about football.
It's fun to talk sports with Shae.